When a new Battlestar Galactica series was first announced, showrunner Sam Esmail confirmed it would not be a reboot and specifically noted the rich mythology of this universe where there is a lot to pick from and explore in terms of its setting. This has left fans intrigued and concerned about the daunting task of honoring the legacy of the Battlestar Galactica IP while charting a new and compelling entry to its lore. In this video, I'd like to discuss several possible settings for this new BSG series that fans are hoping to see, and consider what needs to be included in order for this new installment to the franchise to be a success. There is certainly a lot of unexplored territory for a new show to delve into, either in the form of a prequel, sequel, or loosely connected spin-off series. One possibility that holds particular fascination among fans is a prequel in the form of an origin story set on humanity's ancestral homeworld, Kobol. This potential series could explore the lives, culture, and religious practices of the 12 tribes of humanity, focusing on the relationship between the different nations of humans and their worship of various gods. According to the Sacred Scrolls, a central religious text in the polytheistic faith of the 12 colonies, the gods of Kobol were believed to have coexisted with humans in a paradisaic environment, leading to theories that these gods were based on actual historical figures. Such a setting could demystify a period rich in legend and lore, shedding light on the societal, political, and religious foundations that later defined the human colonies in the Battlestar Galactica era. While an in-depth exploration of the origins and culture of this polytheistic faith presents an intriguing concept, there are concerns about its appeal. Some fans seeking a departure from the metaphysical elements that defined Ronald D. Moore's series might find a heavy focus on religion and politics less engaging. Additionally, general audiences who are unfamiliar with this aspect of BSG history could find it less accessible. However, another compelling premise could lie in the immediate aftermath of the fall of human civilization on Kobol. A chronicling of their exodus and interstellar journey to find a new home could provide a rich narrative framework, setting the stage for the events that unfold in the primary Battlestar Galactica story. This approach can not only explore a crucial era in the saga's mythology, but also has the potential to attract a wider audience by focusing on universal themes of survival, discovery, and the quest for a new beginning. That being said, this premise seems incomplete without the threat of Cylons in some fashion, so this may require creative liberties as far as creating scenarios that would present the machine threat from within the fleet or from a rogue faction of Cylons. However, when it comes to possible prequel formats, the concept that appears to resonate most strongly with the fanbase is one centered around the events of the First Cylon War, the time where all-out war broke out between the society of humans spread across the various planets of the 12 colonies of Kobol and the sentient Cylons they created to serve them. This time period, as an integral part of Battlestar Galactica history, would not only feature the classic conflict between human and Cylon, but would also present a landscape rife with action, drama, and political intrigue, hallmarks of this franchise. There have been other prequel installments exploring the events surrounding this era, such as the short-lived Caprica series detailing the origin of the Cylons, as well as the Blood and Chrome web series created as a pilot to a possible new project set in the 10th year of the First Cylon War. Blood and Chrome centered around the life of young William Adama, fresh from graduating the academy and on his first assignment to the Battlestar Galactica. Since the 10-episode web series ended up not being picked up for full production, I think this setting could actually be a legitimate contender for a proper reimagining, since it received little attention at the time of its release and isn't widely known to this day. Revisiting this era could not only bring this crucial point in the timeline to a broader audience, but also expand and deepen it, offering a fresh perspective on the conflict that defines the entire saga. One also can't ignore what makes the prospect of a young William Adama series a compelling setting, as it would be a Battlestar Galactica show set on the Galactica itself in its prime, as well as having a familiar fan-favorite protagonist involved. However, many fans are satisfied with the Blood and Chrome entry and are intrigued at the prospect of new stories set around this time period to further enrich BSG history as opposed to retreading familiar territory. I also tend to suspect that a reboot of Blood and Chrome might be skirting the line of Esmail's assurance that his show would not be a remake. As such, it's more likely the showrunner would want to explore a previously untouched part of the First Cylon War if that is the intended route. The time between Caprica and Blood and Chrome is certainly ripe for exploration, with the potential for a variety of stories and settings. Personally, I'm particularly interested in the prospect of seeing this conflict between humanity and Cylons first erupt, and see the ramifications of war across the different planets of colonial society. Following the different service stories across the colonial fleet, if done well, could be a fascinating look at the humans of the various 12 colonies struggling to survive while dealing with the consequences of their over-reliance on advanced technology. Such a setting would be a great opportunity to feature intense space battle sequences and action-heavy ground assaults, as well as plenty of socio-political drama and intrigue, cornerstones of this particular franchise. Keeping in line with Ronald D. Moore's series would also mean a maintaining of this era's aesthetic and technology, particularly when it comes to colonial and Cylon battleships, as well as Centurion designs, which would also fall in line with the classic look of Glenn A. Larson's original series. Another premise speculated about by fans is one that takes the form of a spin-off set concurrently with the Battlestar Galactica series in the aftermath of the fall of the 12 colonies. In a concept similar to the approach of the spin-off film Razor, which chronicled the survival of the Battlestar Pegasus, a new series could shift focus to a different Battlestar that also survived the cataclysmic Cylon attack. In Ronald D. Moore's series, the journey of the Galactica was heavily influenced by a religious pilgrimage to find a new home, Earth, where the fabled 13th tribe of mankind resided. This was the driving force of the show's narrative direction. A new series could explore a scenario where the crew of this other Battlestar finds itself on a vastly different path across unknown space, or behind enemy lines in Cylon-occupied territory, perhaps on its own, with no other colonial vessels to accompany them, and without the same religious motivations driving their quest for survival. This divergence would not only provide a contrast to the original series, but would also allow for the exploration of alternative strategies for survival and the complex dynamics between the humans aboard this Battlestar dealing with the loss of their home and loved ones and subsequent isolation, presenting opportunities for unique challenges and Cylon encounters. Apart from offering a convincing explanation for the reason for another Battlestar surviving the Cylon attack, a spin-off like this could offer great creative freedom for the writers of this new show, as they would not be constrained by the events of Ronald D. Moore's series and its other entries, and instead could focus on enriching and expanding upon its lore with new original stories. Even though a spin-off would have the potential for compelling character arcs and enemy encounters, it seems only right to many fans of Battlestar Galactica for a new series to take place or be centered around a Battlestar vessel. The foundational elements of this franchise, after all, is war between humanity and the Cylons they created, and the desperate struggle of the last remnants of mankind to survive against the persistent and growing threat of extinction. Other possibilities for a new show could be in the form of a sequel. Fans have also expressed interest in seeing what became of the rebel Cylon Centurions that were granted freedom and set off into unknown space at the finale of Moore's series. This unresolved storyline opens the door to explore their journey and evolution as a civilization, as well as the future of mankind on our Earth. In the closing moments of the finale, it was evident from the glimpse of our modern-day society that humanity was once again on the same trajectory to war against artificial sentience. One potential narrative could chronicle the future of our own earthly society after humans have advanced technologically enough to become a spacefaring civilization. This advanced state of mankind could be perceived as a threat by the evolved Cylons, who may have long forgotten the peace forged by their distant ancestors. The Centurions, having developed their own society and again likely advanced far beyond their initial programming, might view humanity as a threat to their existence. Or perhaps the reintroduction or first contact between these two advanced civilizations ends in disaster due to misunderstandings, fear, and subsequent aggressive tactics that launch an entirely new war between man and Cylon. These are just a few out of the vast realm of possibilities for a new show. It certainly will be no easy task to enrich and expand upon this beloved franchise. To succeed, I personally feel a new Battlestar Galactica show has to stay true to the spirit of what makes this universe and its mythology so beloved, to be faithful to its space opera roots with its unique blend of philosophical depth, political intrigue, and heart-racing battles between human and Cylon. This also must be balanced with crafting unique, compelling stories that are accessible to general audiences, but most importantly, appeal to its vast, devoted fan base. The stakes are high. One might think that Ronald D. Moore's series captured lightning in a bottle with its fresh approach to the story of Battlestar Galactica while staying true to the spirit of the original space opera. Can lightning strike twice? All this has happened before, but the question remains, will it happen again? But I'm curious to know what you think about these potential settings for a new Battlestar Galactica show. Is there one that specifically appeals to you, or that you would like to see this new show avoid? Do you have other ideas about a setting you'd like to see that would expand upon the BSG mythos? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and be sure to subscribe for more Battlestar Galactica and other sci-fi and fantasy news and lore. And if you're looking for other ways to show your appreciation, you can check out my Patreon page, where members get access to exclusive content and perks. Thank you all so much for your support. And as always, have a very nerdy day.